Hello everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop BB pistol review. Today we're looking at the 2013 version, the blued version of the Baikal Makarov MP-654K, and this is a CO2 BB pistol. Now there won't be any shooting, so there's not going to be any field test shooting review portion in here. I won't be talking about the performance per se. That's going to happen later on when the weather clears up a little bit and I have the opportunity to head outside and do a proper shooting field test for this pistol. Alright, this is a replica of the Baikal Makarov. It's the PM series, not the PMM, because it's got the narrower pistol grip, different grips on it. Basically the single stack version versus the double stack version. And it's replicating the semi-auto pistol used by the Russian military and police from 1951 to 1991. Now the original Makarov shot a 9mm version round, basically a 9x18 Makarov round, different than the 9mm Parabellum. It's actually wider and shorter than a 9mm Parabellum. It's 9.22 millimeters thick versus closer to 9mm in the 9mm Parabellum. Now this airgun version of the Baikal Makarov is actually made side by side in the factory with the real steel version, so that's kind of unique when it comes to air guns. Alright, this gun does come in a nice cardboard box. Let's take a quick look. Okay. Information on the back. Alright. Information, kind of nice. Should read that, I guess, sometime. And inside, pretty straightforward packaging. It comes all wrapped up in this wax paper and such. There is a manual. You do get like an extra O-ring here. See that? You do get some BBs. Okay, that's probably your CO2 O-ring seal right there, I imagine. And you do have a little manual. Let's take a quick look at it. Okay. Sometimes they'll actually sign off on it. Just depends. Yeah, so basically they've got some stamps and things in here. Right. There's your signing off. Someone's actually inspected it. 2013-04. Right, so a real person from Russia went through there and checked it out. Got a little schematic here. Diagram, parts diagram. Alright. Alright, let's talk about some of the specifications. The Makarov MP-654K is a non-blowback pistol. Now it has a steel slide, a steel frame. Almost everything is steel except for, I guess, some of the O-rings perhaps and the plastic grips. But really this gun is made out of weapons grade steel through and through. Very rare to find any air gun made with such high quality materials. Now this gun again uses 12 gram CO2 cartridges. Okay, standard 12 gram CO2. Uses your standard 4.5mm steel BBs, okay, these little guys here. Now it has a claimed FPS of around 350 plus. I guess we'll see when I do my shooting test. And I did load up the magazine to see how many rounds it would hold. It does hold 13 rounds in its full-size steel magazine that holds the CO2 and the 4.5mm BBs. This pistol does have a rifled barrel. Now some people say you can use lead BBs. Perhaps they'll be a little bit better in this pistol. Some people claim that they shoot better, but the magazine spring is very heavy, so I wouldn't load up the magazine with too many rounds if you're using lead BBs. I'd probably maybe put even like as little as 5 or 6 so that the tension on the BBs isn't as high and they're not going to deform and then give you problems when you try to shoot them. Now this gun weighs in at almost 1.7 pounds. The actual weight is 758 grams dry. A real Makarov, just to give you a point of reference, weighs in at 730 grams. So this one is actually a hair heavier. I have a feeling it's because there's more going on in the magazine. It's not your standard sort of stamped metal magazine. It's actually got more weighted parts in it, and I'll show you that when I pull the magazine out later. Now this gun also has a single and double action trigger, so you can do your action shooting with your double action or slow it down, cock that hammer and get a little bit more accuracy out of it if you're target shooting. Alright, and you'll see here we've got 2 of them on the table. Today I'm really reviewing this one here. Again, this is the, it's hard to see with this lighting. There we go. This is the 654K. Okay. But I do have my other one, and I kind of want to show you it a little bit because they are different. The main difference being the grips. So this is the PMM styled, and this is the PM styled. And the grips, basically, the PMM would have had a double stack magazine, so a wider magazine and a wider grip, so wider handle, different grips on it. So some of the older Baikal Makarovs MP-654Ks were made like this. The newer one now, 2013 potentially plus, has the narrower grip, and I prefer it. I really do like it. It feels better. It's supposed to be a compact gun, right? So, you know, concealed carry style gun. A lot of people actually conceal carry the real Makarovs in the US. With the smaller grip, it's going to conceal carry a lot better. It's going to be a lot thinner profile, so that's a better thing. Feels better in the hand. You know, Baikal has basically reworked the magazine to some degree to make it narrower. You can see exactly how that has taken place here, right? Okay, so it's quite a bit different, the magazine. Top part's similar, but the bottom part's been reworked. Originally, my silver or nickel version had a little ring that came at the bottom. You'd use the ring to screw it in tight. I got this screw aftermarket for it just because it looks better. The real version doesn't have a ring on the bottom. Okay, so it looks more flush. This new version comes with that flush CO2 screw already installed. You got to give that a good whack. Now these guns, keep in mind, they're just like the real Russian guns. Everything is tight when you first get it, right? By the way, it's a decocker and a safety. Everything is tight. So it's, you know, even just working this guy is tight. Takes a while to break these guns in. Even the trigger is going to be tight at first. It's a heavy trigger, mind you, but it's going to be tighter, not as smooth at first, because these guns are made, again, out of real hardened steel, right? It takes a while for them to break in, for them to wear in, but, you know, beautiful guns nonetheless. Now, getting back to some of the differences, you'll see here the barrel's been bored out a little bit, and you'll notice that the actual bottom of the slide here is different as well. See how it's tapered differently, okay? And then also the extractor on this one, I believe, you know, this may be machined from similar molds or whatnot, or parts as the real gun, so they've basically just taken the extractor portion out. Whereas with this one, you can see here that they just didn't even work it into this one at all. So it's not even like a pretend extractor, it's just not there, period. So the real gun would have had a real extractor that would have fit in there to extract the shells when you shot them, right? Other than that, you know, same type of sighting, same type of hammer and whatnot, right? Same triggers. Both of them are field strippable. I'll field strip it in a bit. So I'm going to take this gun away for now, and we'll just focus on the Baikal PM version, 654K, MP-654K version. See here it has a serial number. I'll just do a quick walk around right now. Okay, we'll walk around it, take a look. So it's blued version. It's kind of like a blued here, and then it's more of a satin finish here, okay? And same with the frame, right? So some of the parts are blued and more like a polished blued, and some of them are, it's hard to say, it's like a matte finish on this part here. A little bit rougher, not exactly smooth. Okay, just like the real Mac, you've got this, and they all scratch up like that. That is normal. That's just what they do. Okay, serial number on the frame. Slide catch release works, but again, it's very, very tight. You have, this is how you would take this gun apart. Okay, we'll do that in a bit, but you do pull your trigger guard down to get at it. I want to show you something too. Quickly show you. So single action, double action. Okay, again that extractor. Sights, just your post notch. Okay, not as much going on this side. Okay, you do have the nice grips with the star, both sides. Little ring here. I showed you the mag already, but that's your magazine release right there on the bottom, just like the real Mac, right? Okay. Now in terms of parts being metal, or should I say steel, so steel. Like a lot of air guns have metal parts, not steel. The difference is steel will be magnetic, right? Metal zinc parts are not. I can't find anything on this gun that's not steel. It's all magnetic. Everything. Everything is magnetic. Barrel, everything. Let's check the mag out. Everything. Steel, steel everywhere. Everything is steel. Alright, so there's really no other guns made to the standards of this gun in terms of how much steel is built into it. It's crazy. I mean, this gun is just really amazing quality. That's all I can say. It's just like the real gun, made side by side, made on the same machines side by side. So it, internally and whatnot is very different because it's got a whole different magazine setup, a whole different internals because it shoots BBs, not real rounds. But looking cosmetically, it's just like the real Baikal Makarov. Alright, so at this point I'm going to do a quick field strip. So we'll pop that magazine out, pull this down, and then cock the hammer. It makes it a little easier to pull the slide back because the slide spring on this gun is pretty much as heavy as the real mat. So pull it back and up. There's your, look at the spring. This is a serious spring, not like your typical airgun spring. This is, again, hardened steel spring. Let's take a quick look inside. Okay, all solid steel, right? You can just tell by the sound. This is a steel slide. It's just gorgeous. Okay, and that's pretty much it for field stripping. Put it back together. You just got to make sure that spring is kind of in a good position. Get that barrel in, back. So I had to give it a little bit of a whack. It just, once it went back, it didn't want to come forward. This is not, like I said, it needs to be worked in. It went all the way back, but I had to give it a little bit of a pop on the back just to get it to come forward. But all done, it's all back together. We're good to go. See, like, everything is just a little tighter. Now, even initially when I first got it, it took me a lot of effort just to get this to sort of go in. So if yours is tight, see how tight that is? If yours is a little tight, just, work with the gun. It will loosen up to some degree. It's just the way they are. These Russian guns, like, they just make them out of such hard materials. Things need to work in. It's just the way it is. Alright, let's go over some of the pros and cons for this 2013 Blued Baikal Makarov MP-654K. Again, it's all steel construction. This gun is made side by side in the factory with the real steel versions, with the same build quality and on the same machines. So it's really the closest BB gun you can come to a real gun in terms of replicating the parts and being made out of the same types of materials as the real steel version. And as you saw, you can field strip this gun just like the real version. Now this new 2013 version has a recessed barrel, which is nice. It also has that flush CO2 screw already built into it. You don't have to go and get the aftermarket one. It's also styled after the PM version, which has the narrow handle and the PM grips. I find it to be a little bit nicer, a little more compact. It does shoot in single and double action, again like the real version. And the built-in safety works as a decocker, which is kind of nice. And again, this gun is made in Russia. A lot of products made in Russia, they're not going to be the most refined or polished looking out of the box, but generally speaking, they're made to last. Alright, a couple cons. This is one of the more expensive air guns you're going to find out there, but unlike other air guns, it's not made like an air gun, it's made like a real gun. So made out of similar quality parts, made in a similar fashion. This gun's going to last you a lifetime. Now again, there's no blowback operation, but it's kind of hard to do that with the design of this gun, being that it has such heavy parts, heavy springs. Blowback just isn't going to work in something like this. If you're looking for a high capacity magazine, this gun doesn't have it. 13 rounds is all you get, but you know what, that's fine. 13 rounds for me is good enough. And again, this gun is going to require some break-in time. You're going to have to work with it. You're going to have to operate it a little bit before it smooths out a little, so keep that in mind if you purchase one. Alright, I haven't really mentioned it up to this point, but these guns are limited supply. We don't see them very often. We do have some in our Canada Replica Airgun store. We have located a source for them, but there is limited stock. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for one of these guns sell used for more than we're selling them new. The last used version of a Baikal I sold for I think $750 used. So keep that in mind when you look at the price. You might think it's high, but for a brand new Baikal Makarov, the price is actually quite affordable. And you know that price is going to be high because of the overall high quality of this pistol and the fact that they're just in such limited supply over here in Canada and the US. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. The username is Replica Airguns. Don't forget to come on down to the replicaairguns.com website, where I'll have a written article here for this gun with some additional photos. And of course our Canada and US online Replica airgun stores, where we sell air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. And again, check the links in the description if you're interested in buying this gun. We do have it in our Canada Replica airgun store. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.